David, I was going to play the entrance song for Francois Legault, but you know what? I only can hear it so many times. So for those who are not paying attention during their confab in Gatineau over the weekend, he played the theme from Rocky, coming into the room, flexed the old muscles, and basically gave, I guess, all CAC members the idea that, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to fight. And I'm curious what you thought of that.
Well, first of all, let's remember Rocky lost his last fight.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'll start with that one. But I think what really rubbed me the wrong way about yesterday's speech. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, everybody's talking about the Rocky analogy, but what was projected on the big screen behind him and on the little on the lectern, the message was protéger notre monde, protect our people. And what you're seeing in terms of strategy, and it's already been rolled out. He talked about it when he announced his new cabinet. But the thing is that what are we talking about when you're saying we're going to protect our people from what exactly? Doctors, unions, immigrants, English? What is it that's going on in Quebec that we need protection from, and that François Legault is the only person in Quebec that can protect us from it? This is the type of rhetoric that is working, unfortunately, in other countries. Obviously, it resembles the Trump rhetoric and the same type of boogeymen that Trump is trying to put forward in his rhetoric. You're seeing it in the UK. You're seeing it in France. You're seeing it in Germany. And these conventions, especially the CAQ, these are basically theater plays that are, there's nothing left to improvisation. And that the big news item on the Saturday when members can, adopt resolutions, they don't bind the government, but still, like all political parties, you have resolutions. The big headline was, we should outlaw mask demonstrations, people that wear masks during protests. Now, first of all, the courts have already dealt with this. It's unconstitutional. But the worst thing, though, is have you seen an epidemic of mask demonstrations lately across Quebec? Yet again, we're trying to create these enemies, these series of nemesis across the province to distract what is clear, though. This is like trying to jiggle the keys to get a baby's attention to look elsewhere. Because what it is really right now is to distract attention from the fact that this totally incompetent government, after 7 years, has the worst GDP of all Canadian provinces, the worst unemployment rate for young people since 2010. Food inflation and housing inflation are still going up. The economy is completely a mess. We still don't have a way out in terms of healthcare. Still 5,000 positions available in our education system, and I could go on and on and on. But this is going to the right, and we're going to hear about Quebec constitutions and laws outlawing public prayer and all this and that and the other thing. While issue 1, 2, and 3 for average Quebecers is the cost of living. And there was a federal election about this not 2 years ago, last April 28th, Aaron, and Quebecers, Francophones included, by the way, voted massively for a guy who was talking about the economy. And they wanted somebody to take care of the economy, first and foremost. And this party that was elected twice with massive majorities talking about we're the party of the economy is doing anything but now. And veering in a right-wing way, talking about protecting our people. Do you feel you're part of our people when he says our people, Aaron? I don't think so. Do you think immigrants feel like that? I don't think so. So here we go again, identity politics, and nothing having to do with what really needs to be fixed here in Quebec.
David, you're basically saying it's not a here we go again, it's here we go still. Nothing has changed.
Here we go, right? Worse.
Yeah.
My point is, Aaron, this is the type of rhetoric that is not meant to unite. It's meant to get clicks. And we now know, if you've read Jonathan Haidt's book, The Anxious Generation, or any type of research, what gets clicks now on social media, it's fear and anger. And this is all about laying out, and this is a desperate man, a desperate party. I mean, Philip J. Fournier on Quebec 125 says it. If an election were held tomorrow, not only would the CEQ lose, but they wouldn't get any seats, zero. It'd be blanked. And so this is beyond a Hail Mary, pardon the pun, and this is something that it's the type of language that here we go, full on, full throttle, trying to demonize everybody that is not thinking like us. And it's the type of right-wing language that hurts a society, divides, and this is worse than what we've seen before.
And isn't it, I mean, and stop and think about that for a second and realize that there's no one else you can look to. I mean, we should say the Quebec Liberals, although for the most part, they've been quiet on this, right?
Well, here's the problem is that you have Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, who is already occupying part of that field on identity politics, and he's stuck with, I have to deliver a referendum after an election victory. Yeah. So he cannot offer any type of answer on all the real issues. He can't say that the economy will do better because it won't. He can't say it'll solve healthcare because it won't, et cetera, et cetera. And I got to say, Pablo Rodriguez, since his June 14th victory as leader, where has he been, really? I mean, the economy is wide open. The cost of living issue is wide open, is ripe for the taking. And he is not taking the field. The Liberals have not yet taken the field. Now, I know that the party, it's beyond what the Canadians had to do 3 years ago in terms of rebuild. I get it. But still, you don't see that type of presence on social media. You don't in the media, in the traditional media, from Pablo Rodriguez. And it's starting to feel bizarre, quite honestly.
It does make you wonder, and I realize we're still a year away. It's funny, sometimes you discuss all these issues, you think, well, there's an election tomorrow. There isn't an election tomorrow. The election provincially is still a year away, and obviously we always say this, you say this, a year is forever in politics. Do you actually think there's something, I mean, what becomes that issue? And I was talking to Jim Meny before, that lightning in a bottle issue, we were talking municipally, but I mean even provincially, that even potentially could change the course of what happens here in the next provincial election.
Well, I truly think that it's forming. Yes, we know it's in a year, but the perceptions begin much earlier than that. And defining the other parties and defining yourself has to begin now. And Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, agree with him or not, has been very good since he became PQ leader to define himself. Remember, he had just become leader, and he defined himself very quickly. Remember when he did that stunt about not taking the oath to the king?
Yeah.
But that defined him. And we talked about this across Quebec for days on out. And he was very good at taking issues and taking them on and taking a slant. Like this summer, during the dog days of summer, he comes out because there were some crime stats that come out. He comes out of nowhere where nobody's really minding this, and he starts saying he makes a link between that and immigration. Unsubstantiated, but he's staking his ground, and I think right now, when you poll significantly, and you look and you focus group, and you look where Quebecers are, it's really about they are afraid, they are fearing for their livelihoods. There is a lack of confidence that slips into fear about their economic future, the future of their families, the future of their loved ones. And so the party that can come out and say, you know what, we will reassure you. That's what Mark Carney's energy was all about. He was reassuring. Why did we go after the central banker who's basically, like, let's face it, a very nice man, but a geek. He was a financial geek, nothing about charisma or speeches, who could not speak French very well. Well, Francophone Quebecers went to him in droves on April 28th. Why? Because they trusted that he could steward the ship during this huge, unprecedented storm. And so I think right now there's an opening for the liberals, but they don't seem to be on track to defining Pablo as the answer. Yeah, they have time, not a lot, but they have time because Legault and PSPP are going to be duking it out on the identity scale.
Right.
And right now, the Quebecers are saying, well, that's not what I need today.
David, last thing, really, really quick. With respect to the municipal election here, you may have heard Luc Rabouin coming up today suggest, hey, if you elect me mayor, head of the STA, I'm going to knock $100,000 off her salary. I don't know. It seems to me that's a little early to be sort of grasping at straws, isn't it?
Oh, man, yes, it's grasping at straws, and it's really, again, nobody has really been able, all the candidates haven't been able to really yet define themselves in a way that connects really in an important way. Remember, there have been two major polls done, and both of them, basically 50% is I don't know or I don't care. This is too bad for the institutions, too bad for the city. But again, here's the thing. You're talking about the STM, we're talking about public toilets or, bars that can stay open and make noise or not, or whatever the proposals are, the proposal today. First of all, not a lot of people are paying attention. But two, more importantly, look, again, affordability is the issue 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for people. Yeah. And that's why the Zoran Mamdani in New York City is going to become most probably the next mayor of Montreal. This unknown state assemblyman in New York City came out of a crowded field beating Andrew Cuomo and a bunch of other more experienced people. And what did he talk about? He talked about making street food more affordable. He talked about real issues. Yeah. And that's what is getting people's attention now and nothing else.
By the way, for people who almost fell off their chair when you said Zoran Mamdani is going to become the new mayor of Montreal, he meant New York.
Oh, did I say Montreal? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, everybody.
Sorry.
It's okay, everybody. It's okay.
Well,
imagine, David.
That'd be interesting.
Wouldn't it, though? Thank you.
I'm Luke Wilson. Join me each week for Film Never Lies. Since retiring from the NFL, I've had a lot on my mind, and now I've got my own show. So if you're tired of lazy takes, if you want honest conversations, join us each week. Film Never Lies, available on all TSN platforms and the iHeartRadio app.